What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This video I thought would be a fun one. It's the Wolverine Michigan football and basketball, but it is the watch Michigan basketball practice part 2 5-on-5 scrimmage. Thought it'd be fun. I've never seen any of these. I like that more teams are starting to put their stuff for us to see. Interesting. Again, I don't have a lot of context for this. Don't know what they're working on. But first play, it's not giving me a lot of hope here. Is this our offense at Michigan? We're just going to give it to number 11 and clear out? Because it's just ISO. Good job, though. Good move. Like, drives the angles we always talk about. 2 feet in the key. Now he's got to just deal with 2 players. But good job on defense getting back in front. And you remember how I was saying, when we watch a lot of one-on-one stuff, when we break down a lot of high school stuff, or I watch a lot of trainers' videos, I'm like, guys, that's not going to work in college. That's not going to work in the pros. This is why. Defensively, he got beat here. 11 makes a good move. Boom. Gets him with the bump. But because there's help, he can't full speed go to the basket. And then 11 just does a good job getting back in front. Makes another play. Back in front. And because his arms are kind of straight up, this is going to be one of those, like, maybe they call it, maybe they don't, because the offensive player isn't in a strong position here, right? He's not in an advantage, as we say. Called it. They called it. But you might not get that every time. Baseline out of bounds. Oh yeah, as coaches, when you're doing scrimmages, just look for any opportunities to get into your stuff. Like if you're doing a scrimmage and someone's fouled, like, you don't need to go to the free throw line, shoot your 2 free throws unless you need to work on free throws and boxing out and what you're doing out of boxing out and rebounding from free throws. But as many times you can get into your out of bounds situations and stuff, use those opportunities. Kids are going to call for fouls and cry and whatever, but sometimes I'm just like, out of bounds white. Let's go sideline out of bounds. I don't even care whose ball it is. And you also get them in the habit of not worrying about, like, but it was off of him, coach. I don't, white ball. We need to work on this. I don't care. Interesting. Watch what's open here. He's wide open. We got to make a better read there. 32's just got to open to the basket. Right? So that's when... So that American coaches are so fun. We just yell and scream. We got to do a better job of teaching our players to, like, what their advantages are out of plays, not just to run the play. But, I mean, that's something they'll work on that, I'm sure. And this is early days. But again, how long we had this advantage here and didn't get anything out of it. Like, what's our goals as a team? I'd say our goal is to create mismatches, right? Well, it looks like we've created a mismatch. With this switch, he's got to punish it. Okay, we didn't. That's fine. But now we've created another switch and mismatch. And we've got I'm assuming that's their big, because he's the biggest guy on the court. We got him going up to the 3. But now he's setting a screen. We've just created like triple mismatches here. The dominoes have been falling. And the play just stagnates. We get nothing. So those are those advantages that we have to get better at in America. And Michigan's probably doing a good job, right? They're going to be fine. They're probably doing a great job explaining all this. But the reason I'm teaching it is a lot of these guys might be not taught this stuff in high school. But that stuff that it should be automatic at this level, right? It shouldn't have to be like, the coaches shouldn't have to yell. It shouldn't have to be taught again at this level. This is high school level reads that we've been breaking down in our high school videos that we're not seeing. We're not seeing teams search out mismatches and execute on those mismatches. We're just seeing individual brilliance. So every single one of these players was probably the best player on their high school team. So they just had the ball in their hands. They got to go to work, get buckets, make bad decisions, and get away with it. But now they're dealing in a team setting where it's like, dude, y'all got the dominoes to fall 3 times. Got nothing. Now IQ matters. Now they're having to be taught that in college. And some of these guys might be one and done, or they'll transfer to somewhere else. So it's like, we got to do a better job at the foundational level of our coaching. High school is, and younger even. We just got to do a better job as coaches, coaching for the future, coaching for development, not just to win 4th grade AAU tournament, regional. Yeah, again, gets another side out of bounds. See what we get here. Good. Got the dominoes again. Similar. Okay, a couple things. So there's, again, I don't know what they're working on, but to me, I just see so many details that frustrate me, and this is what I would be drilling into them in film sessions. When we watch the Thomas Isolo pick and roll clinic, right? Defensively in a pick and roll, the most important thing, what does he say? If you don't arrive on time, you're done. You're done on the pick and roll. Does it look like this big is going to arrive on time on this pick and roll that's happening from this player up top? He's probably not going to arrive on time. So again, if you know your principles, you know what you're trying to attack and you can see your advantage. So right now, offense is in advantage. They have an advantage here. If they can get into this pick and roll right here, he's done. There's no way this point guard, is number 11 good? Is he a scorer? They gave him the ball and cleared out last time. He must be good. If you can get number 11 getting this ball downhill with this much space against their flat-footed big whose knees are crumbling right now because he sees what's about to happen, that should be a basket, right? He either gets 2 feet in the key and scores, or he gets 2 feet in the key and kicks out because everyone else knows, hey, that's a matchup we don't want. But this big here, he's just like, I don't need to set a screen. I don't need to create contact on this guy. I'll just let him go under because we're just running a pick and roll. And so again, you've messed up your principle of what you're supposed to do and what you guys are trying to get, and you just allow this guy to run under the screen. Now we get nothing. Now number 11 just has to create again. See, so this is like the IQ stuff that these guys should have by this time they get to college. They don't have. And I'm going to be honest. I know nothing about Michigan. I don't know what they're teaching. I don't know their record. I don't know these players. I don't know these coaches. They might be great. They might be the best in the world. I've been to a lot of colleges, been to a lot of college practices. It's not as some of those coaches aren't as smart as you would expect. Even some of the really, really good coaches. Some of them are great recruiters. But basketball IQ, bare minimum. And honestly, X's and O's isn't what's required to be a great coach at this level. It's way more than that. So not trying to take away from people. I'm just trying to show where there's a huge lack. There's a huge vacuum here in America with the IQ side of things, the fundamental principles. And that's what we're preaching. That's what we're trying to bring back on this channel. All right, let's see what we get here. So he is coaching here. So this has nothing really to do with this team, but in your practices, when you're simulating these things, yelling out a play, hey, get into your play. Also make sure it's like game-like, because the part that I see the biggest issue with is players having to deal with turning their brain on to the next play. So ball just went out of bounds and they're arguing like, whose ball was it? Whose ball? They're not thinking about what play are we going to run. They're like, oh no, it was his ball, it was his. So it could be us on defense, or it could be us with a baseline out of bounds, right? So there's 2 options that could happen. The players aren't thinking about either of those. So they're doing all this, and then the ref goes, blue ball. And so you're like, okay, we're back on defense. And this ref's like, oh, sorry, yellow ball. And they're like, oh shoot, we're halfway down there. We got to, now he's got the ball and it's 5 seconds, 5 second inbounds. We're like, 4, get into 4. And they're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get open and all this. That's how games are played. Games are scramble, and a lot of these kids are probably just not the brightest to begin with. That's just how it is. You're not going to have 200 IQ kids on your team. So the more you can create those scenarios and prepare them for those scenarios, the better. We do this a lot in practice where we just talk, and it's a lot of the coach talking at the players and telling them. Again, I don't mean this scenario in particular. We're only seeing a short time of this practice, but I just mean as many opportunities as you get like this. Hey, five, let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1, just to create the havoc, create the chaos, just so they're getting used to it, right? Also, there are moments to teach and talk, as each coach needs to know when to do that. So this has nothing to do with this practice. This is more for just habits that I see. So a couple things. They missed him again, but also, look what's happening. They've put their big on the inbounds. And he can't see that. In my eyes, you need to have this sort of stuff too, because Division I college, you've got these kids all day, every day. Like, you got them as long as you need them. Hey, if a team does this to us, if we're going to have a quick hitter. This is what we're going to do. Bing, bang, boom. You want to have something, ideally, where you just inbound it quickly and you send this guy straight up the middle full speed. You send him straight to the corner full speed. Because, again, the goal is to get those dominoes to fall, right? If we can get a mismatch, great. Well, we already have a mismatch. How are we going to exploit it? We already have a big that's probably not going to have a big on him. Who'd they start on him? Man, are you telling me, like, we already have a mismatch, right? He can't just go bury him? And maybe this is like their scout team. Maybe this is their scout team. So they're like, well, you can't just go bury this guy every time. Run the play. We got to get through it. But it's like, at that point, then it's like, well, why put the big there? And then not let him go go seal. Anyways, again, not having context for their practice or what they're working on, it's hard to be critical. But again, this is something that we do, right? We put players into these false, like, I call it, a lot of coaches will say, don't cheat the play. Don't cheat the play. Run it how I want you to run it. And it's like, I mean, what? Cheat the play. If you can go score, go score. I don't care. Cheat it. Defensively, if you know that we're going to run a pick and roll and you blitz us, and good job. Do that. I want you to. Cheat the play. Because that's what good players do. That's what Chris Paul does. He cheats every play. If he knows what you're running, he's gonna counter it. There's a counter to everything. Like, you should have options for everything. Our goal is to get a mismatch. Our goal is to create the dominoes. If you can go create those dominoes without having to run the play, good job. We know we're in. If you can get 2 feet in the key without having to do all these extra screens, go get 2 feet in the key. And then we know what to do from there. Drive and kick, knock down the open shot, swing it for one more, play out of the closeouts or attack closeouts. Yeah, that height's giving him trouble on the inbounds. Again, we got a mismatch. We got the mismatch and we couldn't do anything with it. Again, goes under the screen. So the three is open here. Doesn't take the three, which is fine. Now you got to get that ball in bounds, right? Allows them to switch. Now they rescreen. Again, so this is what I'm saying. Their offense might just be number 11. Who's number 11? Is that DeJuan Wagner? Who's that? It's just give it to number 11 and let him score. And it's like, if you're willing to just give it to 11 and let him score, you might as well let number 32 just post up on the inbounds. You know what I mean? This is where the principles, to me, are interesting. But this is good for number 11 to keep getting reps. He's probably going to have to do this in real games. It's good for him. So are they in a zone? Because defensively, again, I always prefer to have players on the ball if we can, because this is what we don't want to give up. We do not want to be giving that up on defense, right? A kick ahead, already up the court. Even if you're in a zone, I don't want to do that, just because, like, well, if they're running hard, we can still that's a closeout to the basket. Or if the big is down there early and he seals, that's a one-on-one. So yeah, that took a long time. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, these are D1 level guys. They can't sprint back into a 2-3 zone. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just trying to give you guys perspective on, like, basketball isn't as great as you guys think it is over here. And they got 10 coaches yelling it. Ooh, I remember these days. And you can't hear the coach speaking, so I do have it turned down, but you can't hear anything. Man. See what they got now. So it's just a 2-3 zone. So a couple of you have been asking, how do you attack a 2-3 zone? So this would be really good for you to see. Middle. There's plays. There's lots of plays you can run. There's lots of actions you can run. But I've become really big on principles first, concepts first, and then we can add the plays later. The reason is exactly what I was speaking about earlier. What's our goal on offense? Some kids just think they're supposed to run the offense. But if we can get a mismatch, we attack the mismatch straight away. If we can get a big under the basket, 2 feet in the key, we're throwing it straight away. If we can get a guard downhill, getting 2 feet in the key with kickouts, we just take that. I don't care what offense we're running. If we can get those things, if we can get a kick out 3, we take it. So teach your principles first. In a zone, I teach middle. Middle first. Get the ball to the middle. Have to get the ball to the middle. And if you have a player, your best scorer can go to work here, I give them the green light. Get to the middle, go score. That's the easiest way to break a zone. And just say, hey, if you miss this shot, we're going to live with it. Every single time you can take it. If you take a shot every single time down the court because you got to the middle, it'll even out. It'll average out. But everyone will be in good rebounding position. It's going to break the defense. But if you can play with that mentality, it forces people to take away middle more. Now our plays work. Now we can run high-low. Now we can run baseline runner. Now we can run overload. Now we can run plays. Now we can run our shift or whatever plays you want to run. They'll work now because you've got a guy willing to go to the middle and try to score. Like right here, if he just looked at the basket, what percentage of a shot do you think this is for most players at the Division I level? I would say they can make 7 out of 10 of those. So if we can get, what did Thomas Isolo say? We're looking for 60% 2-pointers, 40% 3-pointers. So if you get to a spot where you can score 60% of the time, we just take the shot. So even though he's open, I'm like, dude, just shoot that. Just look at the basket. So if you catch and score, great job. So this looks like a 1-3-1. Michigan going to be running a 1-3-1 this year? Wait, hold on. What year is this? One day ago, I guess. Oh, no, maybe it is a 2. Oh, so it's like a 1-3-1 into a 2-3. This is like, I've been seeing a lot of this. We saw this with Mark Pope last year with is he at Kentucky? Yeah, he's at Kentucky. We saw this with Mark Pope where he did this against, was it Gonzaga? Where he would be in a 1-3-1 zone and or a 3-2 zone. He would be in a zone and then at like 15 seconds it would turn to a man, and it really, really threw them off. So I think a lot of teams have been doing this lately, like zone to zone, zone to man, man to zone. Again, players aren't the brightest already. So if you can throw some more wrinkles in. And that's why it's important to have concepts and principles, because if something weird happens on the court, you can just be like, oh, I don't know what they're in, but it looks like a zone. Let's get to the middle and take this shot. Oh, I don't know what defensive pick and roll principles they're running, but we got to switch. Oh, we're supposed to attack the mismatch. Right? Like it'll answer so many questions for you without having to exactly know what's happening. So again, fine line between coaching, like fixing, and teaching. I think there's been a lot of stoppages in this game, which is, again, every coach can do their own thing and it's fine. It's a scrimmage, and there's just been so many stoppages, and so many times the coaches are fixing things. But in a game, like, you can't stop it. You can't pull them out. I much prefer to go, if you're going to do this, I'd much prefer to go a 3-minute scrimmage. We're just going to play 3 minutes. And then after the 3 minutes, you're like, this was bad, this was bad, this was good, this was whatever. I try to only stop it for non-negotiables. Non-negotiables to me, let's say one of them is not kicking the ball ahead. They got to kick the ball ahead every time. If you miss a kick ahead, baseline, we're running. They ran for something. I think he said talking. I couldn't really hear, but it sounded like he was saying no one communicated. Baseline, to me, that's a non-negotiable. Not communicating. It might be help side. That's your third non-negotiable. But other mistakes are going to happen. You got to play through them. Like, they've stopped it every time down the court. And we've had something to talk about every time down the court. Every play, everything, they've stopped it, and it's been stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. I think you have to let it go 3 minutes, and maybe they do that sometimes. Maybe this is a different thing. Maybe this is a heavy teaching session. Again, don't have context for this practice, but just always keep that in mind. So it looks like a couple things Michigan's doing is putting their bigs on the ball. So if I were scouting Michigan, I'd just be, all right, what do we have? What's our principle when we have a mismatch on an inbounds? What's our principle? What do we do? Hey guys, they're doing the thing. Get into the thing, whatever, right? One thing I like to do when I'm coaching, I like to just put the timer on the clock. So 60 minutes, but I have my practice plan at 10 minutes this, at 8 minutes this, at 7 minutes this, and I don't stop the clock. And the reason for that is I talk a lot. As you guys can see, this video is now 20 minutes long. I talk a lot. But as I see that timer, I go, okay, we got 10 minutes to get through shell drill, whatever it is we're trying to work on. We're going to work on shell drill, or we're going to work on baseline out of bounds plays. We got 10 minutes. All right, guys, so we're going to do our baseline out of bounds plays. So today, make sure we're doing this, doing this. Make sure you're not doing this like we did yesterday. All right, go. And I'm like, oh, I got that done in 30 seconds. So now they have 9 minutes and 30 seconds to get through baseline out of bounds plays. I can stop it a couple times now if I need to, because I went for 30 seconds. One thing I noticed with coaches, especially over here, we love to hear ourselves talk. So we'll have 10 minutes on the clock and we'll go, hey, go put 10 minutes on the clock. And then we'll start talking. We won't start it yet, but we'll say, put 10 minutes on the clock. All right, we're going to do baseline out of bounds plays. Yesterday's 3 hours later. We might take 10 minutes talking and then go, all right, start it. Now the kids get 10 minutes. But then that just ate into how much other practice time we have, right? And also those kids are just sitting there listening for 10 minutes before they go. More playing, less talking, coach on the run. So if you can, put time on the clock so you can see it. And really, they've got 2 minutes here. So obviously you want to time your scrimmages. So maybe it's a 3-minute game, 5-minute game, whatever. But for me, when it's coaching drills and all this stuff through practice, I'm putting however much time we have. Most clocks only go up to 60 minutes. So if I'm practicing for an hour and a half, I put on 60 minutes. I'm like, that's how long our practice is going. And then we're scrimmaging for that last 30, right? So I put 60 minutes on the clock so I can keep track of my talking, keep track of our drills, keep track of just how practice is going. And then for our scrimmages, I might go, all right, we're going 5-minute scrimmage. And I'll let it go and don't stop it unless it's a non-negotiable, which is something I'm teaching the whole team. But other than that, just let them play and then you can talk about it in between. Sorry for the rant. Really? So one of my biggest defensive principles, so this is what you're going to leave open if you're going to put your big on the ball. One of my biggest defensive principles on baseline out of bounds. I think I've spoken about this before on the channel. Let me get my pen out. I always have the inbounder always guard the basket. The only thing I don't want to give up is a layup off an inbounds. I've talked about the stats before. I need to find these stats to have them on hand. But it was like 4 years ago. They did stats at not this Olympics, but it was the previous Olympics. Australia did stats on all the teams in the Olympics and how often they scored off of each play, whatever. So transition is the highest percentage scored play in basketball. So they format by a lot. It wasn't even close. So that's why everyone tries to get as much transition now, because it's like you score the most out of transition. The lowest scoring percentage of any play was baseline out of bounds plays. Baseline out of bounds. So you score a higher percentage out of a half court set than you do baseline out of bounds. So what's the point in spending 3 hours a week practicing baseline out of bounds plays? Just have one or two. Just have one or two that are reliable. All the kids know every spot. Everyone can run it on the dime, and you can switch it up. One works against his own, one works against the man. That's all you need. Get the ball in bounds. Then have your half court set. You'll score a higher percentage. I know in college they have all day, every day, so you can have as many plays as you want. But the rule for me defensively now, if I know the lowest percentage scored play is baseline out of bounds, just don't give up a layup. Just never give that up. They can do whatever else they want. I don't care about anything else. If you get a corner three with a hand in the face, I don't care. I don't care. I'm taking away a layup. Take away layups on the baseline out of bounds. I always have the inbound guy just take the basket away. Because like you cannot, like if he's standing at the basket, the thing you give up is a quick inbounds and a quick boomerang pass straight back to the corner if he sprints in with a closeout. But there's nowhere to drive to. Like, okay, I'll live with that. But I can't live with this. Upside down basketball. You know, it's upside down basketball. We want to be cute and do other things on the defensive inbounds, but then giving up layups. So yeah, it just looks like a stagger 2-3 zone into a into a normal 2-3. So it just has the two guys staggered at the top, and then they break off into two guard front. It looks like. So to me, can he not score? Can he not score? What are we doing? This is what I mean. If you got a guy that can score in the middle, like you just eat up the 2-3 zone. If you play against a team and they can't do this, I would stay in the zone. But the offense is exactly what we said it was from watching one play. I already told you what Michigan's offense was, didn't I? Find number 11. And everyone's clapping. Yeah, good job. Dude, the offense is just find number 11. What are we doing? Yeah, so it's just a stagger 2-3 zone. But, I mean, just look at I just don't. So, the reason I'm emphasizing this so much, you're going to see this if you watch college basketball. You're going to see this at the beginning of the season. I watched John Calipari last year. They were playing against Houston? No. Who were they playing against? I can't remember who they were playing against. But early in the season, the other team was struggling. Oh, it was Baylor. They're playing against Baylor. And they were destroying Baylor. And then Baylor went into a zone. And then he coached Louisville, right? And then they struggled. Couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything against the zone. And they were just shocked. They were like, their whole offense was just pick and roll and play. And then when Baylor went zone, they just were like, I don't know what to do. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's not a lot of really high IQ basketball happening. Like, do you not have a guy that can just go middle and shoot that jump shot? Like, principles. Got to have principles first before they're doing all these actions and all these plays. It's just fake. Hold on. Let's see. Let's watch how this started. This is all just fake. It's just theater. Like, this isn't basketball to me. It's just fake. All right, now we got a guy. Good look. Like, we really can't go middle? Like, so look at the shot he ended up getting. He's comfortable with this because he's a big. Play close to the basket. He's comfortable with this. Do that. But are we as a team not comfortable with him catching here? With no one on him? So I don't want him catching with no one on him. But trying to get it to him with the defender on him and help side clamping down. So what? Like, our principles, we just gotta be better. Like, is that a 60% too? trying to get the last shot. Again, I think that's good, practicing those scenarios. Knowing how much time is on the clock, they're trying to let it run down. You got to practice those as a team, I think. Some players can naturally do it, but... So we'll see what they run here. It'll be interesting. Now that they have a chance to like set something up. So I was watching the ball pressure. So just double Iverson cuts. So I don't think this was the play. I think now they're just trying to get something out of this, so they just go pick and roll. They just go pick and roll. And again, it's just number 11 making plays. This is a great pass, by the way, and a good cut. Terrible defense. Like, you give up this three. If he can make that pass over there, you live with it. You can't give that up. Your responsibility back here when the ball's on this wing is the basket. And I don't know who the big is guarding. Yeah, terrible defense, but really good pass. Really good cut. Get the ball in bounds. Oh, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. All right, couple things from both sides, yellow and blue here. I think he's trying to just get them in the habit of running back and getting into the zone. I get it. But if we're trying to learn court awareness, time awareness, things like that, game awareness, you scored, there's 8 seconds left, and watch yellow. Yellow just is like, yeah, good dunk. Good job, guys. Well done. I mean, if this is halftime and you're playing against a St. John's, they go score this. They get this ball in bounds. This is your second team, it looks like, so they struggle getting the ball. Now this is where the blue team, my pet peeve, is like, guys, I don't care if there's 1 second or if there's 10 minutes, we get that ball in and we go. We need every opportunity. Game's not over till the whistle, till the buzzer. Like, that's one of my huge pet peeves. And then he just gets a wide open, just half court heave. So it's like, if we're gonna practice it all the way through. And any of you out there that I've coached, you'll know, you've heard that same that same speech from me. Again, this is an open. They're recording this and they're putting it out online. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're not trying to be perfect. Maybe they're okay with, whatever. So if number 11 is your offense, this is what I'm saying. If number 11 is your guy, why not have him be why not have him be the middle guy? He can score from here. Why not? I hate it. Like, we just put players, like, we saw this with OTE when Real Madrid went zone. They were just like, I don't know what to do. We're just going to stand up top. Put your best player, whoever can score the best from here, just put him there. That defense is going to have to respect that. They're going to have to respect that. And when they do that, now your other guys have some room to work. Now your plays work. You got to get your best players, your best scorers, the ball here in the middle. It's as simple as that. Your best playmaker in the middle. Because, like, your best player, he's your best scorer so far from what I've seen. He's got the ball now, but he's got two. Like, he knew where he was the whole time. So he's sprinting out extremely hard, and he's like, make someone else score. So you're taking away their best player. They end up getting a good shot, but again, it's... Oh, there's two number 11s. Everyone's number 11. Oh, he's number 1. Yep, pick and roll. Nice. You got to get the ball middle. Good job. Good shot. Again, This is why I hate just running back. I know this is their A team versus their B team, right? Like, this is scout team. They're not supposed to be, but this is what, like, if for the yellow team who's running back and getting to set up and stand there for 5 seconds, this is what it's going to feel like to them. As they're running back, whoever the best player is on the other team is going to be pew, 3 dribbles. He took 3 dribbles and he's already at the sideline and attacking the gaps, and the big has just now turned around and got back. They call a foul. Okay, another stoppage. Hey, shooter. Find the shooter. Man, 3 dribbles again. 3 dribbles. And, like, look at the clock. 3 seconds have gone off the clock, and they're already here. Again, I know they're specifically practicing zone, but it's just like... I think you're... Oh, they're in man now? Again, like, this is where principles matter, right? Oh, you guys can't really see. Principles matter. Look at the big. Look at the big right now. And again, I know this is the B team, but principles matter. They're not, like, A team isn't going to get away with this in conference play, right? Like, you can't just put your point guard or your 2 guard, whoever this is, you can't just have him just casually guarding the big, and as this guy's just walking around and they're trying to set up their offense. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen in a game. Didn't get out on him. Dang. Dang, yeah. And that's how they lost their best player. Oh my gosh, what is this? Man, got to get a middle touch. But a good drive here. But it was bad defense. Again, I don't know why they had 2 on the ball. He should never have left there. Because there's no one middle. Like, you guys, their zone doesn't have to move. Nice. Good look. I mean, that was just America's play, right? Just inbounder. Just screen the inbounder. But they just do it from a different formation. They just got there with more steps. Oh, yeah, this is what I mean. Like, a couple things. What are our principles offensively? Kick ahead, right? Again, these are my principles. It's not Michigan's. But there's a guy down court already, and then there's a guy here. 1 dribble, kicks it ahead. Like, that's a dunk against, name a team, Florida. That's a dunk. Name another team, Michigan State. That's an open 3. I'm in the way. Move this way, right here, right by my ear. That's an open 3 right there. That's why I don't like the principle of, like, when we play zone, we turn around and run all the way back. When we play man, we turn around and we pick up, one player gets the ball. If you're this guy, if you're the guy that's the furthest back, you go here. Like all these different rules. For me, I'm just like, on the rebound, we tag up. Whoever's next to you is who you guard. It's more important to have someone on the ball than a mismatch. I don't care. If we have a mismatch, we have a mismatch. But I'd rather have someone on every player, have everyone accounted for first. Then we can talk about the switches and how we're getting back to where we're at. But once we've all identified a player, once we're all guarding someone, we're just picking up the man closest to us, we can still get back into our 2-3 zone. But it's just for transition purposes. We're by the ball. We're all in our spots where they can't just get up the court. I don't like giving this stuff up at high levels. I mean, they gave up 3 open shots there. And luckily it's the B team. Same thing, right? Like now blue is just running back, which allows this guy who apparently can't even score in the mid-range, in the mid-post. He can't even score in the mid-post, but he's a god-tier point guard now because no one's guarding him. He can go cross-court, cross-body pass, bullet pass, right on the money to a shooter. And I know there's going to be a lot of you in the comments that are saying like, yeah, but they're just practicing for when they do want to run back in a zone. He's just trying to get it into their heads to run back. I just don't ever think there's a need to play basketball like that anymore. And you've seen why against their B team. Yeah, the rule is to just get back and run all the way back and get to your spot and run a 2-3 zone. But there's been 3 or 4 times you haven't even got to get into your zone because you're too busy worrying about running back that they're just throwing it over your heads. They're kicking the ball ahead. Your principles need to be slowing down the ball, picking up the ball, identifying a player, all of that first. You can get easily, like getting into a zone is easy. That's the easy part. We don't need to practice turning around and running all the way back. They've been doing that since high school. So we'll stop there because it's almost done. But let me know what you guys think about doing some of these. Like I'll try to find some more practices and stuff. This was awesome. This was really good to see. Again, this is not a knock on Michigan. I'm trying to show you guys and I'm trying to just give more perspective that like, yeah, I'm just trying to shed more light. I just think the level of basketball can rise so much more with all the technology we have, with all the knowledge that we have out here in the world. And it's just like basketball is passing us up in America and we're just okay with it. We're just like too ego driven to admit that there's a massive problem. I want to see it keep improving, keep getting better. So I like pointing out these things, but you know, the change starts with having these conversations and the change starts with like seeing what everyone else is doing. So sometimes I see some really good stuff. Today it was a good scrimmage. It was fine. This was okay. But when we talk about these are some of the best athletes in the world, and like we've seen a lot of elite training sessions, elite coaches, elite skills trainers. Now we're seeing elite practices, you know, professional like practices, and it's like, yeah, it's okay. It's fine. I don't want to dig too deep of a hole, so I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys in the next one.